Hello, this lecture is in English language. I'm showing here the timing expression in English all year round, and I compare it with Spanish and Russian. Spanish is año redondo, where año is a noun, a year, and adjective in Spanish regularly follows the noun and agrees with gender. Here, the gender of año is masculine, so this is masculine gender adjective. In Spanish, adjetivo, we say. The lines 3 and 4 here are devoted to Russian. Why 2 lines? Because I write in cursive in the line 3, and in the line 4 I'm showing printed Russian, the one we see in print in the books. Since they may look different, I'm showing this difference here once more. If you have difficulty to recognize Russian cursive writing in this particular phrase, pay attention how different is R in cursive, consonant R, U круглый in Russian, круглый год, круглый round, год year. So R, as we see in print and in cursive, are different in Russian. Maybe they may be different. We may write it the same as English P, but we also may write like this more classical way, which I'm showing here. U, Russian U, vowel U is the same as English Y. So we need to remember those. The third G, Russian G, круглый in the middle, G, круг. Круг is circle, so круглый adjective. G is completely different in print. In print, it looks like device for hanging people. Sorry for that comparison. And cursive, it looks like a symmetrical rounded hook or a bird, as we see. So this is G, круглый, G. The next is L, consonant L, like in English, little, L. And in print, in Russian, it looks like a perfect pyramid shape. And in cursive, it has to start with a little outstanding hook on the line on the bottom, in front of it. Why? If you miss that little hook, you may have your consonant O be lost in the merging with the previous letter. You know, like in Arabic, also same thing, different in printed and when you start writing. Also, so concept of letter has to be preserved. So here we have the same here. O. So that little, outstanding leg round has to be in L, in cursive. It cannot merge with the previous because it will not look like L anymore and will be hard to recognize. It is a typical mistake for a beginner student who starts writing cursive Russian. And I told many times that we need to understand cursive Russian because Russian children are studying in schools and they write with cursive, they don't print. And so we need to understand those concepts of cursive. Next, after O is круглый, This is difficult to pronounce. If I take 2 paired vowels, I and U, I is kind of we may say soft, and is harder. Like your lower jaw is protruded front a little bit, kind of. Difficult to pronounce for a long time for English speakers. They struggle unless they drilled, then they will pronounce better or good, perfect. So in print, this consists of two elements, one close to another, but they are two elements, two different. But in cursive, look at the ending. I'm talking about the pre-last letter, which is vowel in the adjective krugly, round in Russian. But in cursive, look at it in cursive. In cursive, we can recognize it, it's recognizable, but these two are necessarily connected. If you don't connect them, again, the letter will lose its concept and it can be, misperceived. In the noun God, Russian God, один год, God. It's in English we have a God. Well, Americans pronounce very open O, but in Russian God is year, good, and it's O, and it's stressed. It's only one syllable word, very easy one. So it's singular over year, good. Two letters here, which we discuss here. Two letters which you want to recognize in cursive. One is already discussed, G, in the middle of our adjective krugly, round, G, and the last one is D, God, D. In print, it looks like a house or vehicle on legs, printed, D. And by the way, the house in Russian is dom, for those of you who know Russian or some Russian. I always explain that it looks like a house on legs, or maybe like a vehicle in print. But in cursive, it looks exactly like English small letter G. For example, goose, G, small letter G, or good, G. Okay, so this is about why I wrote Russian 2 times here in the expression. And I talk about it in other lectures. A student of many years of Russian language, American, very highly educated American, whose pronunciation is perfect in Russian, is still struggling sometimes when cursive comes into play suddenly, when he needs to read the cursive, because it looks different, and we have used it quite seldom because our lessons are online, on telephone, and we just read books, classics. We read just printed texts. And now let's come back to the structure of this simple phrase. In Russian, adjective is always in front of the noun, same as in English. If I say round table or square table, I have to put adjective in front of the noun. The same in Russian. Krugly, in this case, krugly год, round year. The same phrase why I put Spanish here, because Spanish is exactly two words. Like in Russian, exact Russian, año redondo. Only the word order in Spanish is different, same as in French will be different. So in Russian, like I said, the adjective is always in front of the noun, and it corresponds in gender. We have, I will remind that we have 3 genders of Russian noun: masculine, feminine, and neuter. In this case, we have a noun God, which is year, which is masculine. On, which is he. We don't have it, special it in Russian pronoun. We say he. Он, год. For example, хороший год, good year. On, we can replace with on, he. Masculine, that's why adjectival ending corresponds with the gender, it's masculine. Ый, круглый. Difficult to pronounce. Ый. And that's what I wanted to say about this handy phrase. Russian and Spanish are identical, adjective and noun. And now I will, before saying goodbye, I will pronounce all three. In English, all year round, the expression, 3 words, all year round. In Spanish, 2 words, noun and adjective, año redondo. In Russian, adjective and noun, круглый год. Thank you very much, and I am Zoya Eliseyeva, and I am now in Arizona, USA, and today is October 17th, 2025, Friday. Bye.